Alright, my friends, so thanks again for watching my video. This is going to be for the Binolux. I don't see a model number on this, but this is the 8x40, 330 feet at 1,000 yards. As I mentioned before, what that means is when you look to the image at 1,000 yards, what you see from one end of the lens to the other is going to be 330 feet on this one. Now this is a very small binocular. As you can see, my hand is really, I don't have small hands. I've got small hands. I said that joke before. But this is a very small, extremely convenient binocular to be out in the wilderness as I am here, for example. Bird watching, this is really great. There's a couple hawks that were around here, and as I've mentioned before, when it comes to glasses friendly, this binocular here is an absolute dream come true. I can easily pick up the binoculars, put them up to my eyes with my glasses, and the image shrinks just a tiny bit, but 100% glasses friendly on this binocular. So for those of you who want something small, compact, glasses friendly, this is absolutely going to be a binocular that you should look for. I know that people use them for different things, but if you're a bird watcher or nature lover and photography, even this video here that I'm making, I'm looking through, and the image, the whole thing looks fantastically clear, sharp all the way around. And like I said, super glasses friendly. There's a couple hawks that were flying around here, and I was able to just whip up the binoculars and boom, I could see exactly a really great image of them. Not a problem at all. These binoculars are from the mid 60s, late 60s maybe. I don't see a Japan telescope inspection stamp, inspection institute stamp, but these here, if you can't see it, it says JB114, and there's a lot of people out there who do know about these things. So that's definitely Japan made. This is going to be, unfortunately, it's going to be an eccentric ring collimation. I can see one slit here, and then another one on this side. One of the rings thinner than thicker. You know, same spiel for the eccentric ring situations. For those of you who have seen my other videos, center roller focuser. You've got a aluminum alloy. This is typical plastic right here, hard plastic, deep cup. Anybody who saw my other videos, you know how the deep cups so far have been quite a positive experience as far as glasses friendly. Very nice eye relief. Let me emphasize that. Very good eye relief on these. And 8 power is extremely, 7 power is very a very strong magnification. I know that some people don't understand that. They keep thinking that they want high in magnification, and that's not really the case. Now the Binolux the Binolux situation is interesting because now first of all, these binoculars I think were very expensive in their day, high quality, definitely very nice, very well put together. And let me show you the box real quick before I go on with the rest of my story here. So this is the carrying case for it, okay? And you've got corduroy with the Binolux brand here, 1950s, I believe. I forgot when that registered trademark, but Binolux was another one of those like American companies, and eventually they started buying stuff from Japan. I replaced this tab here, and I replaced these things here, but I think I've shown you this this carrying case in another video. But this is very reminiscent of 50s, 60s style cases, so that's definitely telling me that this is a that time period binocular. Now let's compare it real quick with the size of the Bushnell zoom. The Bushnell zoom is quite a bit bigger, but it does have that zoom magnification, and yet the Binolux is a tiny bit longer. It's a tiny bit longer. It is, by the way, a Z-type binocular, as they say, German style binocular. It's not a phrase that people use nowadays, but it's I just wanted to pass that on to you. Now this monstrosity is the 151 that I just did a review on. Now this puppy, look at the size of that thing. It's like, whoa. It's like massively bigger, hugely bigger. But this one is definitely a high-priced binocular in its day for sure. I would bet money on that. Now, the Binolux history, let me tell you real quickly. I've mentioned before that I have a few binoculars that I have to give a thumbs down to, and that's going to be the Binolux and some other brand. The unfortunately situation with Binolux is that they started to go downhill in the 70s, and I do have evidence of that, because by that time there was too much competition coming out of Japan. They wanted to sell more stuff to the masses, and so one of the things that suffered was the quality of the glass, which is always going to be number one cost. And it's really sad, because this brand here, this Binolux brand, which I'd never heard of before I started to collect binoculars, but this Binolux brand was considered an innovator. They were one of the first ones to start offering coatings. They were one of the first ones to offer zoom magnification, and unfortunately they really went downhill in the 70s. And they still sell stuff today, but I think mostly roof prism, those little tiny ones, which I don't really like those. They're too small for me. And but this one here, so the Binolux, if you buy something pre-1970, you're doing good. So I have a 1968, but before I finish that one, I have something from 1968 and the early 70s or mid 70s of the Binolux 20 times magnification. Big thumbs down, big thumbs down. One of them has eccentric ring system, which tells me pre-70, and the other one has prism adjustment screws, like the 4 screws that people talk about. That one also is a big fat thumbs down, and they're both Binolux 20 by 50. But unfortunately, it's the quality went really down. However, this one here, if you're looking for something super compact, extremely high quality, this is really nice, beautiful. I would suggest that you take a look at these if you stumble onto any of these Binolux pre-70, and don't worry so much about it being high power, but not magnification, because this is 8 power, and this is really a great binocular. The closest I can get to an object before I start to lose a little bit of focus is going to be 15 feet, so that's pretty good. Remember that I have others where you have to be like 25 feet, and I think another's 50 feet before otherwise I start losing clarity in the focus if I get any closer than that. So this one's 15 feet. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. And like I said, definitely glasses friendly. I'm watching hawks out here, and I can whip up my binoculars with my glasses on and don't lose a beat. Absolutely fantastic. All right, thanks again, and we'll see you in another video.